Have you ever tried to hold on to your humanity when others convince you of being no more than a subject, an object, which they can bend to their will? When they told you that you were a monster that deserved punishment, and you could really not remember your sins? When they took away your loved ones, leaving you to rot in the dark? The problem is, it's in their darkness. You have never been alone.
Okay, now that we are at the tent, the actual start of the game, I would like to talk about the incident that this game is based on, which is called the Dyatlov Pass incident. Happened back in February 2nd, 1959. Where 9 unfortunate ski hikers met their doom in northern Ural mountains.
I set out the moment I heard about the incident. I was in the area, so I reported to the unit myself to be automatically assigned to the case. I arrived at Vyshai on February the 19th, a couple of days before the Institute's rescue group. While waiting for them, I started asking around to see if anyone from among the locals knew anything about the incident. One of them said he had a hunting cabin in the search region and knew the area very well. I decided to use him as a guide. When the rescue team had finally arrived, I explained to them what the unit's role was in this mission and that all discoveries or observations should be brought to my attention before anyone else's. We established priorities, checked the equipment, and set off right away. It was not until February the 26th we found the tent that I believe belonged to the students. Initial findings show that the people in the tent cut its sidewall and for some reason tried to escape from it in panic. The tracks in the snow led to a forest 1.5 kilometers away. But the trail went cold after 500 meters and we had to carefully search the entire area. This was not a place of any average incident. We had shivers crawling all over our bodies because of the atmosphere surrounding us. I was convinced that something more than just an accident had occurred here. I had the feeling we were dealing with something unnatural.
So the realistic theories that have been put forward to explain this tragedy include avalanche and katabatic winds and infrasound-induced panic, military involvement, etc. But I believe it can all be explained with a simple if-then formula. That if you go against nature unprepared, then you will perish. I believe that, except for one of them, none of the group members had previously experienced such geologically disadvantaged terrain, so the surroundings slowly started to get into their heads, causing them to lose their perception and their foresight and their capacity to decide. The first day of the trek was January 28, 1959, where we have a group consisting of 2 females and 7 males. And 8 out of 9 people are between the ages of 20 to 23. Except for a man called Semyon Zolotaryov, who was a 38-year-old man, the oldest member of the group. Semyon was a successful military personnel, and he was a competent and an experienced man. He joined this trek because he needed qualification to receive the title Master of Sports. So I imagine he was a pretty fit man. The other member is called Igor Dyatlov. He was the official leader of the group. He was 23 years old. Dyatlov was quite ambitious and he was a talented engineer. I believe one of the two women in the group was his girlfriend, whose name is Zinaida Kolmogorova. I believe that Igor Dyatlov was at a point in his life where he was trying to prove his talent to himself and to his girlfriend and to the authorities and even to nature. Okay, I believe we were here before, but I would like to explore starting from here and exiting here, so even though Dyatlov was the official leader of the group, I believe Semyon had a more assertive personality due to his past experiences, so he was the natural leader of the group. I mean, he was behaving like one. And I say I believe he was acting like a leader because the other woman of the group, who's called
You know, at the beginning, I wanted to make things right. I believed God itself touched me. That I have received a chance, a compensation for the evil that was brought upon me. That I understood that it is not God, or good, or restitution. Just a tool of revenge.
The other woman of the group, who is called Dubinina, she wrote in her diary that Semyon made her feel uneasy. Okay, I believe this is the entrance. But I'll get the collectible first. So it must have been an intimidating environment in general for Dyatlov to act as a leader, I think. While there is a man like Semyon in his group rising as a rival.
I set out the moment I heard about the incident.
So the first few days they were traveling about 15 kilometers a day, thanks to good weather, which is minus 10 Celsius. When you read the diaries of the group members, you can see that they took notes of a lot of words and symbols from the Mansi language. Mansis they are a local tribe. Mansis are a local tribe in the region, I believe, and back then there were 5 to 10,000 in population. However, they must have seemed to be everywhere to our group because of the symbols and words that are written all over the trees. They must have been affected a lot because Dyatlov wrote in his group diary the word Mansi 31 times on January 13th, I believe. So the thinking of Mansi and the impassable cold weather and how everywhere looks the same and no signs of civilization and the never-ending path. It is, when you factor these, it is easier to understand that the eagerness and the excitement of the first days slowly transition into tension and anxiety.
I... I set out the moment
Dyatlov wrote in his diary that they could only travel 1.5 kilometers per hour on January 31st and 2.5 kilometers a day on January 31st, and on February 1st only 2.5 kilometer a day. So compared to the...
Where are you?
sitting in room number 23, although sitting might not be the right word because we are running around trying to finish up packing anything else we could need. Food cans, tools, essentially whatever we get our hands on. We want to be sure that we took everything we could possibly need. We're running out of time. Damn it, where did I put my belt? I'm sure we forgot about something. We're almost ready. We lost the knife. We're counting the money. We're leaving the room in a complete mess. So, we made it to the train station. We're singing all the songs we know and making up new ones as well. Everyone is so excited. Finally, at around 3 a.m, we go to bed. I wonder, what is awaiting us when we get there? What will we see? How far will we make it? I hear the rest of the group breathing peacefully, and it's snowing outside.
So 1.5 kilometer per hour on the last day of January and 2.5 kilometers a day on the first day of February. So you can tell at this point, I believe, the leadership skills of Dyatlov were being questioned. So this is the coordinates of the cave in front of us.
We discovered the first bodies by the pine trees. A makeshift campfire suggested they tried to warm up. The bodies were only in underwear. I decided to thoroughly search the area between the tent and the tree line. I discovered the other bodies every few hundred meters apart. Their position indicated the victims attempted to return to the tent as fast as they could. This could mean that the threat was gone and the group decided to go back to the tent, or just the opposite. Someone or something appeared from the forest and forced its victims to run. At this point, it is difficult to determine what exactly happened. I have collected small samples from all bodies for further research at the unit's laboratory. I discussed the situation with the rest of the rescue team, and afterwards they focused on the visual inspection of the tent and areas by the trees, and I entered the forest.